Okay, so there's something I have to rant about a little bit. So I was looking around and I came across this YouTube video. Oh, about a project. So I've previously done a video on Ship of Harkinian, which is the Ocarina of Time PC port. And there have been a couple other projects in the similar vein to that go along with it, like the Super Mario 64 PC port and a couple others that way. Well, come to find out, there's this video of a Link's Awakening PC port. And it's Link's Awakening. So you search for it, it's Link's Awakening DX HD, which would not be a problem at all, except for the fact that it's like you look at everything and you've got every outlet. Zelda Dungeon talked about it, Polygon talked about it. It's so stunning, and this, that, and the other, the HD visuals, zooming out of the map and stuff like that. So this article was published on the 13th. Check out this stunning PC port of Zelda Link's Awakening while you can. So let's go back to the Polygon article. Da, 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 da. When did it release? So they've got the itch.io link. Okay. Doesn't say when it popped out. But you can see that it's already been claimed on. I am authorized representative of blah, 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 blah. So take down the project and we won't have problems. But here's the thing. One of the only reasons it got on Nintendo's radar was because every freaking journalist talked about it. Every games journalist ruined it. And then you see even the self-perpetuating cycle of, let's see. There were articles that talked about it being taken down already. It didn't even last 2 weeks, and then it got taken down immediately. So when I was trying to find it to put it on my Steam Deck, I literally had to go to archive.org to find it, because with every stupid new games journalist not letting it sit and stew a while to permeate, they had to do articles on it and then get it in Nintendo's face. And then it gets taken down, and now here we are. Even MSN had it. And so, yeah, it hit the mainstream everywhere pretty much. Nintendo catches wind of it, and it's going to get in the way of their next big Zelda project that they announced at Direct. See, unsurprisingly, Nintendo has... Yeah, it's your own fault, okay? Okay, so that's kind of the biggest overarching issue with it, is the fact that games journalists didn't let it sit and stew. They saw it, they got clicks from it, and now they get to get even more clicks from it because it was taken down by Nintendo. And they make dumb puns like makes you Link. But that it's just games journalists doing games journalist things because they have nothing better to do than get clicks, and that's how they make money. It makes sense, you want to get clicks. But the fact that you will ruin a fan project in order to do it just kind of kills me in some spot hard way. It's because they're all big outlets and not many people have had a chance to look at it, and now it's already gone because of it. How many articles are it just from the last few days? We didn't get 2 weeks in and it's already down. Okay? Now, there are a couple other issues that the port had that should not be overlooked. So when we look at how it was, Link's Awakening DXHD was packaged, we notice a couple of glaring issues with it. Let's see if I can. Yep. Okay. So if I extract the file, what we have going on is I can just straight up and go, wait, no, I want the X. Nope. EW. Okay. I can straight up run it and it will run just fine. Once I get through the .NET installation, maybe. No. I don't remember what version it called for. Give me a second. Well, no, this'll be instructional. Like if you are getting it from archive.org, here's your options to so we do Winetricks, .NET 6. Wait. Really? Which .NET version do I lack? Windows DLLer component. So we are looking for .NET 4.0, .NET 6, .NET 7, and let's add .NET Desktop 7 just for fun. And then this will install them. I will pause momentarily while it works on that, if I can get to it. Okay, so we get it running. And it doesn't really, my goodness. So the glaring issue is that they did include assets from the game with the game itself when they made it. They don't have you procure your own ROM and then present it to the program in order to extract assets and text and so on to use with it. So it was all packaged. You just set up the game, install .NET, and go. That's probably the easiest, biggest issue that you have when dealing with this is the fact that the assets were included with it. You didn't have a way of procuring any assets from an official game that you dumped yourself. And the other issue is that it doesn't look like it was open sourced, which would, if it were open sourced, it would mean that other people would be able to take the project, have the source code on their own systems, and if it came down to it, if it got DMCA'd, they could make a fork of it and redo it. It's really hard for Nintendo to take down a project that's on millions of people's computers when it's decentralized like that. So I think I want to address these two things in a couple different ways. So if you remember Ship of Harkinian, when you go look at the setup guide, we'll use the Linux guide because that's what we were doing. In order to be able to even play it, you have to obtain a ROM. So you download the app image, in this case, or the Windows executable setup, whatever. And then you get your ROM, you dump your ROM. So they provide ROM dumping guides on how to do that, whether it be from GameCube or, let's see. Yeah, soft-modded Wii or Wii U, that's the easiest way to do it. And then you go about it like that. And then it will extract the assets on the first run, and then you can run from there. So Ship of Harkinian has walked around it in that sense with, you need to procure your assets from a ROM that you have dumped legally. And then they also have the GitHub. So when you've got 392 forks of a project, it makes it really hard to take all of it makes it somewhat difficult to pull all those down because GitHub may not be the only source repository that source code is stored on. And more particularly, it's stored on the hardware or the systems of the many contributors to it, the 108 contributors. So, and look, regular changelogs. So, again, you can argue, well, yeah, it's open source, but just because it's open source doesn't mean that it's going to be an effective control against Nintendo's issuing a cease and desist order on it. The big thing that Chip of Arcinian does is make you procure assets from a ROM that you obtain legally. And that's an argument that you could make. Now, my other argument, and probably lesser known, is the Pokemon disassembly projects. So let me... So you've got the disassemblies of Pokemon games that fall under a similar idea. The source is out in the open and it's on many different repositories, but I have not heard of Nintendo cease and desisting any of these projects, largely probably because one, they're disassembling it or reverse engineering it, and two, the source is out in the open. There are a couple other controversies with the disassembly and reverse engineering of the Pokemon games and like ROM hacks made from the disassemblies that is probably for another video. But the idea is that it is, how do I say? It is de facto open source without being licensed as open source. So it's out in the open and lots of people already have the source code on their systems. And if Nintendo were to cease and desist GitHub on this, they could easily take that source code elsewhere to like Bitbucket or Codeberg or even their own self-hosted Git instances and other Git repository options. So were there some issues with how the Link's Awakening DX HD project took things? Yes. A big part being the naming, another part being including assets with it so that you didn't have to procure those from somewhere else, and also the possibility of not being open sourced. And I think we could look at another Metroid 2 remake and see something similar probably. So, let's see. People still work with AM2R. So this is the launcher. I'm not sure if it is the project itself. Okay, yeah, so far it's just launchers. What I want is like the meat and potatoes of like the actual AM2R engine. Yeah. So I don't know if the AM2R itself was ever open sourced. Okay, let me see if I can find this real quick. Okay, so yeah, it looks like there was no like GitHub repo. So again, Nintendo seems to have a habit of being able to take advantage of the fact that without the source being out there, it's a lot easier to target projects and send a cease and desist order. Because here you can see AM2R, you've got the development team and things like that. And there's not really much in the way of official community or recommended links. So we could hit the archive and yeah, there's nothing. And at this point, the AM2R website is basically a blog about some other projects as well. But it's kind of a pattern that way where you don't have the Pokemon disassembly projects or even the ROM hacks they're based on getting hit in much the same way as the projects like AM2R and so on. And you can even look at the Wikipedia page and see the sheer number of articles that there are about this. And again, this comes back to my original rant about games journalists ruining everything that's good in this world because they bring it up to Nintendo's face. If you enjoyed the video, then like, comment, subscribe, feed the algorithm, boost the video up, share this video with your friends. If you found it informative or you just want to chat, I've got plenty of places in the description, Discord, Guilded, and what have you. Check those out, and I will see you guys in the next one.